Hey everybody, this is Chip, and I thought I'd give you another Tao of Chip. I'd like to talk today about toxicity in people and how you might cope with it, and some of the fun ways I've figured out how to do it. First, I'll start off with a situation between me and my wife where she had a meltdown. We were in Myrtle Beach on vacation, and we were with a large group, and the group decided to go out to dinner to this one restaurant that was not something me and my wife really enjoyed, so we decided to go somewhere else and we'd connect with the group afterwards. Well, we were supposed to connect up with this group and go to a movie. So after dinner, we go to the theater where we're supposed to connect with the group, and one of the members of the group calls my wife and says, we've decided to go to the movie theater on the other side of town. Well, that didn't sit well with my wife, and she went off. I don't know why they couldn't discuss this with me first, why they had to yit and da 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 da. And she just went on, and I'm just sitting there, yeah, but we're on vacation, we're not in a rush, it's no big deal. And of course, every time I said this, she would get more and more, it would just pour gasoline on the fire and she would start fussing again. That didn't work. So I hushed and I let her spin down, and she just yit, and finally she hushed for a minute, realized I hadn't said anything in a while. And when she was done, she looks over at me and she says, don't you think they should have da 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 and maybe yet. And I said, yeah, but we're on vacation, it's no big deal. We just go where we're going to meet them up, and everything will be fine, let's have some fun. That didn't work like I thought it would. It threw gasoline right on the fire, and she went right back into, well, they should have discussed it with me first, and did this, and blah, 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 that, and did it. I said, oh, Lord, no, not again. So I hushed again and let her just kind of get it all out. By this time, I was done with it. And she gets to the same place where she realizes I hadn't said anything in a while. She looks over at me and says, don't you think they should have da-da-da this and da-da-da that, and they should have discussed it with me first and blah, blah, blah? I just looked at her and I go, I love trees and the pretty blue sky, sweet little wildflowers, little butterfly sitting on the wildflowers, sweet little birdie singing in the trees. She looked at me like I'd lost my mind and said, don't you think they should have knitted it? And I said, I love trees. And the pretty blue sky, little birdies singing in the trees, waves rolling in on the ocean, bleach white sands, umbrellas and boat drinks, wildflowers and bugs on wildflowers, and birdies singing in the trees. By then, she figured out I was out of there. I had mentally checked out. I was done, cooked, gone. She didn't say another word. She just sat over there and stewed in peace and let me look out the window in peace by my lonesome. And I was good. When we got back to the apartment, one of her aunts, seeing us walk up, my wife marching a good 10 feet ahead of me, says, y'all okay? My wife says, ask him. The aunt looks at me and says, Chip, everything okay? I just looked at her, I love trees. A few minutes later, we got up to the room, everything was okay. We got dressed, went out, got ready to go out to the movies. While we were out at the movie, the aunt asked me, why do you love trees? So I explained to her the whole story. From that point on, anytime they saw me out on the beach, they'd say, Chip, how about them trees? I said, I love them trees. And my wife would just get all in a tizzy. Didn't do her any good to fuss because they knew that they had her number. And I got a little bit of peace out of it, and I got a humorous response from her family. Another situation that was not as bad, but it was Christmas time, and I had to go to the mall to pick up a few gift cards from some stores there. Well, the store I had where I parked, I had to walk through the Macy's department store. And in the Macy's store, they have the walkways are set up so that you have two walkways crossing each other and then a walkway circumnavigating the store. And I took the pathway going around the store rather than through the middle. As I was going through the young men's area, there were 4 women setting up at the corners of a square on both sides of the aisle. And I could hear them from 25 feet away easy. Just gossiping, and it was negative, and it was just creating just a cloud of negative energy. And the more I listened to it and the closer I got, I said, oh God, I cannot walk between these women with all the negative energy they're slinging around. It is just spiteful and pitiful, and oh my God, I cannot do it. What can I do? Because I got to get through to the other side. Well, thought hit me. I can't say anything to them or do anything crazy, but inside my head, as I'm walking through this between these ladies, in fact, before I actually started crossing the square that they've created, in my mind I'm going, pixie dust, pixie dust, pixie dust, pixie dust. Did that all the way through. Now, I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything, but in my head, I'm imagining myself slinging this sparkly, beautiful, glittery, positive energy, pixie dusting into this cloud of negativity and destroying it. The funny thing is, as I'm leaving this area that they were congregating around, it was all I could do to keep myself from busting out laughing, because the thought of that was so hysterically funny that it was all I could do to keep from laughing in their faces. The other funny thing was, just as I got to the edge of their square area, they hushed and moved on and started doing shopping that they were supposed to do anyway, and quit the bickering, bitchy, gossipy crap. And it was a much more pleasant evening. Now, some relationships, no matter how hard you try to save them, no matter how you cope with them, they're just nasty, ugly, whatever. You can't do anything with it. The toxicity will kill you if you stay there. So, bid that person goodbye. If they won't take goodbye for an answer, just don't talk to them anymore. Don't call them. Don't pursue the relationship. Just leave them alone. If they try to text you or whatever, don't respond unless it's an absolute emergency. And trust me, you'll know when it's an emergency or not. But let them go. They're not going to help you or be good for you in your life in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But don't let them go in a negative way. As you let them go, pray for them, and pray for them like this. Say, Lord, me and this person can't get along. I love them with all my heart. I want you to please bless them in a mighty way. Bless them far away from me. Give both of us the blessing of time and space away from each other. because this relationship isn't healthy and I don't see it getting healthy anytime soon. Bless them and bless everybody around them, but bless us both with distance. Amen. And let them go. Finally, if somebody's messing in your head and you just cannot get away from whatever they've stuck in your head, they've started a bunch of gossipy, trashy stuff, and you want to get into it, and you know that it isn't healthy for you to be in that stuff, and the only thing that's going to come out of it is more bad. So what do? You walk away, you leave it alone, and you find a viral song, like the Meow Mix cat food song, or the Baby Shark song, or my favorite, which is Never on a Sunday. You can kiss her on a Monday, but never on a Sunday. Or Tiny Bubbles in the Wine. Or some other song like that. You know, those stupid songs that get stuck in your head and won't go away for 3 or 4 days. You cannot keep one of those songs in your head and study negative energy. It just doesn't work. In fact, if you need to get revenge on somebody who's always slinging negative energy, give them a Baby Shark landmine. Just walk by them singing, Baby Shark, do 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 do, Baby Shark, do 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 do. 5 minutes later, you'll hear them singing that song without realizing what they're doing. You've just stuck that song in their head, and that's the best revenge you could ever have. Anyway, this is Chip, and thank you for listening to me give you some of my stupid advice. Thank you for listening to the Tao of Chip. Thank you. Y'all have a good evening. Good night.